As many of you know, the PowerStack 5.0 amp hour battery is set to be kitted with multiple different tools, and the DCS570 is one of them. We're going to take this tool today, run the 5 amp hour XR all the way up to the 9 amp hour FlexVolt. We're going to hook us up to the voltage meter again. We're going to watch for that voltage sag. We're going to see what it does with all these different batteries, 3 cuts apiece. We're going to take time to move our guide in between. That's going to allow the battery to kind of come back a little bit, and then we'll make 3 cuts. After the 3 cuts with everything, we're going to bring this PowerStack back in, hook it up to our heat gun, drain it down to the voltage that's approximately 50%. We did a test on that a few videos back. Then what we're going to do is go back and run 3 or 4 more cuts with the saw just to see how it holds voltage after it's been drained, because we think that's more important in some cases, how it holds up higher voltage maybe when it's 50% than maybe when it's fully charged. So this is going to be interesting. Let's get after it. We'll start out with the XR 5 amp hour battery. Now the PowerStack 5 amp hour battery. Now the XR 6 amp hour battery. The XR 8 amp hour battery. the FlexVolt 9 amp hour battery. Now we are draining the PowerStack 5 amp hour battery down to 17.78 volts with our heat gun, which is approximately 50% charged if this battery is used on a constant basis. So this is an estimate. We are at 50% or lower. We're going to run this PowerStack 5 amp hour battery basically until it's dead on this saw. So those tests were quite interesting. Basically, we saw the PowerStack 5 amp hour battery hold up in voltage mostly comparable to the FlexVolt 9 amp hour battery. The 5 amp hour XR, while it's great, it dips down pretty quickly into the 16s and even the 15s, which is exactly where the bottom half of the PowerStack kind of ended up. So the bottom half of the PowerStack kind of acts like the top half of the XR 5 amp hour battery, which is interesting. Now the 6 amp hour battery again outplayed the 8 amp hour battery, which it's been in most of the higher demand stuff. And you can tell there's a huge difference in speed as I move up into the batteries. And performance-wise here, we're just basically cutting a stack of 3 half-inch pieces of OSB. It's working out great. The PowerStack did end quite quickly, which I was surprised at, but it did go down with pretty good results. I tried to get it to go again, and it definitely was not going to go on this saw very much further. So I threw it back on the heat gun just to get an idea of where the voltage was at. And the voltage was dropping very, very quickly. So I knew we were at the end of the battery, but we still had some room left to use it with the heat gun, which is interesting. So this heat gun is not pulling, near the amount of amps as the circular saw, but I'll tell you, PowerStack did excellent on the circular saw. If you're looking for in this case, smaller battery than what you would normally use, because you're normally going to use the 6, 8, or maybe even a FlexVolt. And if you're using a FlexVolt on this 20-volt saw, you might as well just go to a FlexVolt saw and take advantage of all that power. But our PowerStack is basically the same size as a 6 amp hour battery, except not as thick. So you're gaining a little bit there. Weight-wise, they're about the same. There's not a whole lot that you're gaining other than a lot more voltage on the top end and a little bit more power as the saw wants to dig in deep. And if you're going to compare this to the XR 5 amp hour battery, which nobody should be, you're gaining a whole heck of a lot. Cost on this obviously is up there, but it's more information for you to make the judgment call on what you want to purchase. So if you have any comments on this, I'm curious to hear. This kit with the PowerStack amp battery and the DCS570 is coming out soon. Hopefully the prices on that are going to be really good, and I think it's a good combination. So putting this battery with something that needs or wants that higher draw seems to really work out. Comments below. Give us a like in this video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. If you know anybody who's interested in this, please share this video. It helps it get out. Appreciate your time. Have a great day.